So after the town of Tropic, we decided to do an extended alternate through Bryce Canyon National Park. It would add on about 13 to 15 miles over the normal Hayduke route, but neither of us have ever been to Bryce before, and it seemed by doing this extension we would get to see a lot more of the iconic locations throughout the park, whereas the Hayduke Trail doesn't really see too much of Bryce. It kind of barely touches it, just touches a little corner of it. The state of Utah has what I've heard called the Big Five, or the Big Five National Parks. Like when people are going on a road trip to this area, they're going to the Big Five. The Big Five National Parks of Utah are Arches National Park, Canyonlands, Capitol Reef, Bryce Canyon National Park, and Zion National Park. A lot of times people will throw a sixth in there, which would be the Grand Canyon, which isn't in the state of Utah, it is in northern Arizona. And it's kind of cool that this trail takes us to all of these places, that we get to spend extended amounts of time in each one of these parks. You know, we're not just on a week-long road trip where we are running from one to the other to do a short day hike. Every single one of these parks we are spending days in at a time. We entered the park and we hiked up the Queen's Garden Trail all the way up to the rim. It was really amazing to get to see the hoodoos for the very first time. It is, after all, what Bryce is so well known for. Unfortunately, we kind of knew this coming in, but the weather forecast was not looking too good. So the second we got up to the rim, it started snowing. We ran off to the National Park Service Visitor Center, got our Junior Ranger badges within an hour, trying to kill some time in hopes that the snow would stop by the time we were done. And unfortunately, no, it just continued to get worse and worse. So although amazing to see the park, what we didn't realize previously was that we would be hiking through 2 days of off and on rain and snow. Terrible. At first, walking into Bryce felt like Disneyland. Like Walt Disney himself had just sculpted these rocks into one giant, amazing attraction. They look like something straight out of a fantasy book. Like something you'd see depicted on a different planet other than Earth. And then, of course, it also felt like Disneyland because we went from seeing not another hiker on trail for well over a week to now sharing the trail with 1,000 other people. It was incredible to see so many people just out doing a day hike, seeing some really iconic sights, and then heading back to their campsite afterwards. Once the snow had hit, it was quite interesting then to see everyone disappear. We were once again totally alone, just walking through the snow. So we spent 2 cold, windy, snowy, rainy days in Bryce Canyon National Park. I think for anyone that's been there before, then maybe this extension of the Hayduke isn't the most necessary thing, as a lot of the time you're just kind of down in the trees. I think it does provide a lot of extra options to see the park in new ways than maybe you haven't before. I don't know if I would do it again, but I definitely enjoyed seeing the park for the first time like this.
Bryce.
We finished our time in Bryce with, yet again, another snowstorm. We had climbed up to Rainbow Point at 9,100 feet. We had eaten our lunch, and then as we were about to descend off Yavimpa Pass, down and out of the park, once again, the snow started falling. I was really happy to get to see Bryce this way, and I think Sprocket was too. Both of us got our Junior Ranger badges, and now we head straight south from here to the Utah-Arizona border. South from there and into the Grand Canyon. So in just a couple days, we'll be in Arizona for the first time in a long time. And just a couple more days after that, we'll be descending down into the depths of the Grand Canyon. And from there, we'll be spending about a week, maybe upwards of 10 days, traversing across the Grand Canyon about 3 times. Spending days at a time beneath the rim down by the Colorado River, spending time both on the North Rim and on the South Rim, and seeing some really, really, really remote places within the park. I kind of feel like the Grand Canyon is the crux of this entire hike. We got all of our permits for it way back in February. And now in May, it's kind of amazing. We will be there on the exact day our permits begin. I think it's maybe a testament to how well we had planned this trip out, that so many months later, we are in the exact place we thought we would be. And for the majority of this hike, we haven't really done a lot of climbing or a lot of descending, at least compared to many other trails out there. A lot of the times we're just walking at the bottoms of canyons on relatively flat ground, though boulder strewn with dry falls and lots of little challenges. I think the Grand Canyon is going to have a lot of climbing, and our legs, I do not think, are ready for it. I don't think any Hayduke hiker is ready for it. So here we come. Arizona, the Grand Canyon, and then not too long after that, Zion, and the finish. Thank you, Bryce, for the good time, and I sure wish we had some better weather. But you know, it is what it is. Sometimes on a through hike, you don't really get to choose, and you just get to deal with the cards you're dealt. It's raining again. Wonderful. I think we're on like day 30 of this trip and about to cross like 500 miles or something. And I think we've had rain or snow on 10 of those 30 days. And it's like we're in the desert every day. Big desert. There's thunder. I don't want to say I'm ready for like the desert, because I know we're probably going to be dealing with like 110 degree temperatures in the Grand Canyon real soon, but I'm also kind of surprised at the amount of weather we've had on this hike. I don't know if this is atypical or if this is just normal. You know, we're at like consistently between 4,000 and 6,000 feet of elevation. We don't go too much lower than that too frequently, and sometimes we're as high as like 8,000. I think the high point of this trail is 11,000. So maybe this is just totally normal for the Hayduke every year. Rain and snow every day. It sure feels that way. When you do like the step-by-step ID. Where would it say you are?